you know, if there's one, if anyone is out there and your listeners who are trying to find that path, and, you know, like I said, my narrative for a long time was that I missed out on my opportunities and the acting wasn't going to happen for me. But I just want to say there was a moment when I was in New Zealand and I was walking around this Lake Wakatipu, and I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. That's where they shot a lot of it. I had my headphones on listening to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack. And I'm not a very woo-woo guy. I'm not a very spiritual guy. I'm not a religious person, but I was walking around and I was just taking in this beautiful scenery of New Zealand. And I'm half Maori. I'm from there. I'd never been to New Zealand prior to this, and I felt like a spiritual kind of connection to the land and all that stuff. But listening to Lord of the Rings, walking around this lake, I had this voice pop into my head, this thought popped into my head, and I swear to God, it did not feel like me. It felt like it was something else talking to me, and all I heard was this voice that said, "Do you see? Do you see?" And I get a bit emotional thinking about it, because it was like that for me. I was like, yeah, I do see. Fuck, this was always the plan. Everything was to get me ready for this. Like all the stuff that I thought was my life falling apart and things not working out was actually the universe guiding me to the thing that I was always supposed to meet my fiance. I was always supposed to start comedy and get ready for this opportunity that no one else could have done as well as I'm going to do it. And it was like this feeling of like, it was so emotional, because I was like, oh, the universe, everything is going right. Like it hasn't gone wrong. Things have gone right for me. Like the universe has got my back. I'm exactly where I should be. So if anyone's out there that feels like maybe a little bit of their narrative is that thing of like, it didn't work out for me, fucking this happened, this, you know, maybe you were playing sport and you got injured, whatever, just know that there could be that moment out there down the line, if you just keep following the flow and the feeling of things, where you go, holy shit, this was always the plan. Fuck, like
I'm a big believer in that too.
Yeah, so that was very, very meaningful for me, man. So I hope people out there that maybe are in a bad place can kind of cling to that, because I think it's possible. I think you'll get to a point where you go, I did not see how, there was no way I could have seen how that situation could have been for the best, but it actually was. And now I'm here. So yeah.
I think your story is a great story of that. And that's why I say inspirational. So next time you're in an argument with your partner, just be look, I am inspirational because I've
Good Lord.
Do you know I'm an inspiration? Do you know I'm an inspiration? Come on.
And she'd be like, honey, you still need to bring the washing in. And I'm like, I'm an inspiration to the masses.
Oh, mate, I think your story fits perfectly for Create the Courage.